Good day, everyone. I am Infante Marilyn, and I will be the first reporter to tackle about the social responsibility. And before we proceed to our topic, let's first go to our introduction. So the words corporate social responsibility may have entered the Philippine consciousness only in the past 20 years. But the concept and practice of making profit and reaching out communities has been far longer than that. Today, it has become even more essential for business establishments to integrate corporate social responsibility activities into their business strategies should they wish to survive these trying times. So 20 years ago, corporate social responsibility used to be a charity initiative run by the marketing department that involved collecting money, organizing volunteers for a local charity. Then, driven by even such as oil spills or child labor, it became obvious that it was not enough to undertake corporate responsibility. Some companies have started thinking through the wider consequences of their business model. Now, more and more businesses are thinking about how to use the business model itself to solve major social problems. Solving the social problem becomes the business model. This evolution is not driven by a sudden increase in altruism in the business community. Think of it like this. The market value of company these days mainly derives from intangibles, from its image, from its reputation, from trust it inspires. Its market worth does not derive from its short-term profit margins, but from public trust. Conversely, if the public loses trust in the company, the image to the market value of the company will be quick and dramatic. An oil spill doesn't hurt because of the direct financial implication for the cleanup cost. It hurts stock prices because of the loss of trust. And in today's Twitter and Facebook world, this loss of trust is very difficult to manage or speak. So businesses have strong incentives to think of corporate social responsibility in a much broader sense. CSR is not about doling out or charity or hand out to the society. It is what corporation to do solve social problems that help create a sustainable society that in turn increases business and profit. So let's now proceed to our objectives. So our objectives explains to the entrepreneur social responsibility to his customers, suppliers, stockholders, fellow businessmen, government, to the community, and to his employees. Discuss such business relationship measured by fairness, honesty, and justice, and explain the right of consumers, creation of jobs, and business ethics. The concept of social responsibility has various meanings for different individuals. For instance, a banker's social responsibility is to lend money even to the poorest producers and not only to the rich ones. For manufacturers, their social responsibility is to create quality product and not to pollute the environment. For the rich, their social responsibility is to share their excess wealth with the less fortunate. So, what is the best form of entrepreneur social responsibility? So again, what is the best form of entrepreneur social responsibility? So Professor Howard Bowen defined it as the obligations of businessmen to pursue their policies, to make those decisions, or to follow those lines of actions which are desirable in terms of the objectives and value of society. So let's now proceed to historical development of social responsibility. Sa book, taas kayo siya. So, I used bullet form para i-summarize na lang. So let's now proceed to the during the ancient times. The Greeks despised trade and commerce. Only the slave and low-class citizens were engaged in business. This was during the ancient times. They preferred to be soldiers or farmers. Those who became businessmen were guided by their personal ethics and moral judgment. And one law of code says, if a man hires a field laborer, he shall pay him 8 gur of grain per year. That was during the ancient times. Let's now proceed to the medieval time. So during medieval times, business activities were influenced by Christian doctrines. The church then was a very powerful institution. And according to this doctrine, the businessman should pay fair wage to his workers. He should likewise charge reasonable price for his product and services. And for the last one, in latter part in 1700s, the Industrial Revolution emerged. The state adopted the laissez-faire policy. Children and old individuals worked up to 18 hours a day, and they were underpaid. And the abuses of businessmen produced great social philosophers and reformers like Robert Owen and Karl Marx. The last one is the theory of Karl Marx. Karl Marx developed his theory of scientific social evolution. He stated that in the beginning, when society was still primitive, there was a social equilibrium. However, when new ideas and new tools of doing things were introduced, the old system and disturbed. As a result, man became greedy for power and wealth. Man became great concerned with material wealth. This led to a class struggle between the workers and the capitalists. The latter wanted amassed wealth at the expense of the workers. A Russian economics professor appears to echo the views of Karl Marx. Professor Vostok claimed that under capitalism, the fruits of production belong to the ruling class of capitalists, who own the factors of production and marketing. They do not contribute their labor to the production process. On the other hand, the workers are producers themselves, but they do not own the factors of production except labor. They are forced by unemployment, inflation, and crisis to sell their labor at very low price to capitalists who take advantage of their miserable conditions. As Gustav further explained, he likewise observed that the capitalists lie on incomes they never earned, but derived by exploitation. Thank you. Let's now proceed to the second reporter.